All right, today we're taking, well, the deepest plunge yet. We've finally arrived at the final stage of devotion, stage 5, through knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
This is all about verses 3 through 5 in chapter 12 of the Gita. So our mission really is to break down what it takes to walk this path, a path that's all about a complete merger with the divine.
It's the ultimate intellectual challenge. This whole stage is about trying to understand what's called the inconceivable Brahman.
Inconceivable. Why that word specifically?
Well, because Brahman, by definition, is beyond your five senses. It's outside of logic. It defies any kind of inference. So the sources are very clear on this. It demands a really exceptionally high level of intelligence.
Okay, let's ground this for a second because this is a core idea.
Mhm.
The philosophy says God has two parts.
Yeah.
Brahman, which is reality, and then the illusion.
Right.
So what are these? What is this illusion?
The illusion is, well, it's essentially false. It's composed entirely of what the texts call names and forms.
So everything we can label,
Everything.
everything we can see and touch.
Exactly. And that's the human dilemma. We get completely lost in these names and forms. It's like watching a movie so intently you forget the screen even exists. A Brahman is that screen. It's the unchanging reality, the substratum that's underneath everything else. If you're only focused on the shifting movie, it's almost impossible to perceive the constant screen.
And here's where it gets really radical, right?
Yeah.
The goal isn't to be able to claim, oh, I know Brahman.
Not at all.
The sources insist that the only real success is realizing I am Brahman. And that's blocked as long as we think we're just this body-mind complex.
Precisely. That confusion about our identity is the main obstacle. And because the goal is so profound, the requirements to get there are, just as strict.
So if the bar is that high, where does an aspirant even begin? It sounds like, I don't know, conventional prayer and practices might not cut it.
They sort of become formalities at this stage. The real prayer, the real spiritual work, is an intensive study of the Holy Scripture.
Not just reading it.
No, not at all. It's studying with the single objective of understanding that ultimate underlying message.
That sounds like a monumental task. So what are the actual qualifications someone would need, practically speaking?
The texts lay out 4 key things. First, you need complete control over your sense organs and your mind. No more being driven by every little desire or distraction.
Wow. Okay, just that alone sounds almost impossible in modern life. But okay, let's say someone achieves that. What's next?
The second is the power to discriminate between the illusion, all those temporary names and forms, and the reality, the Brahman.
To see the difference constantly.
Yes, and that feeds directly into the third requirement, the ability to disregard those names and forms and see the substratum, to look past the movie and see the screen.
And the final one has to be about intelligence, right? You mentioned that at the start.
Absolutely crucial. You have to have a sharp intelligence, not just to absorb the teaching, but the capacity to logically and relentlessly question it. This is a path of analysis, not passive faith.
So this really confirms it. The entire life of someone on this path is just reorganized around this one goal.
Exactly. There is no other goal. Every single action is done for that singular purpose.
So what are the final steps?
They're intense. Most of the time is spent studying to gain what's called doubtless knowledge that can't be shaken. And then that's followed by deep meditation on that knowledge to become absolutely steady in it.
So bringing it back to you, the listener, what does all this mean? The benefit of finishing this incredibly difficult stage, what is it?
It's revolutionary. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. The difference between the seeker and the sought, it dissolves.
And what's left?
Life becomes fundamentally, effortlessly joyful.
If we connect this to the bigger picture then, the journey isn't just about worship.
No, it's a radical intellectual transformation. Your whole identity shifts.
Okay, here's a final thought for you to explore. If every single one of your actions, from your morning routine to your career choices, was truly driven by a single purpose, like knowing ultimate reality, how might all the formalities and the little things in your day-to-day life just completely shift or maybe even disappear? That's the challenge this path presents.